Bro really says, wait, have I gone live on YouTube? Wait, hold on. Did I fuck up? Yeah, bro really says fisting time for a melee playthrough. That's insane. I can't believe this, man. He's been watching my content for years, and he makes such a tasteless joke in such a manner. Dude, I fucking passed out today. God damn. Hold on, I have to reboot. There you go. Dying over here, man. Oh, God. This is going to be a shorter stream, that goes without saying. I'm starting so late. Dude, I knew I wasn't going to have raid today, so I completely just blew right through sleeping through raid. I knew we weren't going to have it. We were missing 3 people. I was like, yeah, that's probably the end. Good God. Alright, did I finish this dungeon? Or am I full, and that's why I'm leaving? I can't remember. I think I'm full. Right? I think I'm full. Yeah, love you and your content. I appreciate it. Oh, I appreciate you all. The channel has been growing, and I appreciate it. Only thing I didn't do, I definitely could have done a lot more today. I did not do nearly as much as I needed to, so I feel a little bad about that. I know it's not like a huge deal, but it, you know, it kind of is. I want to be productive. I want to actually spend the appropriate amount of time creating things as opposed to not. So I do feel a little bad sometimes when I'm just so tired and I just sleep right through like most of the day. That does kind of suck. Shield on self. Mithril. Okay. What helmet do I have on? The helmet of the Sentinel? I mean, it's only a 1 defense change between this and the Ebony. I'll just put the Ebony helmet away. We don't really need it. Maybe later on we'll do something. I don't know. Maybe we'll find like a Daedric helmet or something. Okay. I'm gonna empty this fucking place out. Seriously. Oh boy. At least tomorrow's Friday. Tomorrow I'm gonna try to actually get to Xenoblade early. Like, I don't want to start at 6. I might start earlier than 6. So just be kind of mindful. Obviously, I'm not like a fucking expert at this. There's a high chance that I will just be asleep or otherwise disposed of. What I found out today is that they're gonna do that Legion remix for World of Warcraft in the winter, and Mists of Pandaria is probably getting a re-release. Or what is it? Mists of Pandaria Classic is coming out in the summer. So I'll figure out how much of that I want to weave into my content. I'll figure that out as well. This is creepy. This is terrifying. That'll probably be how much I figure that out. What? Where do you come from?
I'll hack you to pieces.
Very nice. Oh, you didn't die? Where? What? Ugh. Alright, I'm still waking up just a little bit. Found a really cool stick today. Someone was out and about. That's like one of the most ingrained things in your brain as a man. Is like, let's find the cool stick. It's like an epic loot. And epic loot. It's like an epic drop. Good times.
I'll send your bloody soul straight to Sovngarde.
Come on, drop your weapon, bitch. Okay, whatever. I guess that counts. Bro is wearing steel. Dude, steel is so, like, 20 chapters ago. Ditch digging? I don't know about that. When I used to go out and out and about, We used to have, like, field trips and places like... Or field trip to, like, outdoor places and stuff like that when I was in school. That was a long time ago. I think I only went on literally one field trip my entire high school career. And it sucks. The field trip didn't suck, but it just kind of sucks. Like, that was my entire high school career. We had only one field trip. It was a great field trip, though. I remember it distinctly. Partially because I think I was 16, 17. We went to go see a play for Spanish class. That was awesome. And then I remember, like, after that, I left. They dismissed us from the spot. And I went to my mom's job, and we hung out. And it was a great surprise, because I think that was one of the first, if not the first time I'd ever visited her at her job. And I was just like, yeah, I'm outside. You know, they let us out of that field trip. And I was like, yeah, you want to go home together? And that was a great day. I think about some of that stuff very fondly. Even if it's been, at this point, what, 14, 13 years since it happened? I think about some of that stuff with very fond, 2020, right? Good times, man. Obviously, when a lot of this stuff was happening, it's kind of like, what the fuck? But nowadays, it's like, damn. Memories, man. You make them, and then one day they're just gone, and you're like, what the fuck happened? You wake up, it's like the meme where the guy closes his eyes, and he's like, what the fuck? How did this happen? It's exactly like that. I think they're just glitched. I really don't think this is supposed to happen. Either they're, like, intimately in love, or she's literally can't recalculate her AI. Even being hit did not recalculate her AI. So you know you're playing an Elder Scrolls game. It's like you have to complete your objective as an AI first before you can recalculate and remove. That's really weird. Start the van, I got the baby oil. The Diddy smash and grab was a win. I wonder how much, like, 10,000 bottles of baby oil really even costs. Sorry, not weighs. Is that flippable? Like, do you think they seized any of it? Don't go touching the bugs, you'll get perma-bricked. Well, that's why I make a save every session. Okay, that was the way out. Sometimes you have to mess with the bugs. I mean, Pokemon Gen 1, that's how you get infinite Master Balls. You perform the fly missing no glitch, and then you get infinite Master Balls, which is hugely helpful. I definitely did that when I was playing Pokemon on the 3DS. And I remember when they dropped Gen 1 on the 3DS, I was like, damn, bro, this is fucking fire. Very nice. Why did that open like a Resident Evil door? That was creepy. Horrible and wartime scarcity conditions. What wartime are we in? Dudes are gonna flip it for a profit. I haven't even kept up with the Diddy case. I think I've been everywhere now. No, I'm thinking of streamer bathwater, but as Diddy baby oil. Yeah, you're cooked. I don't know where the key is. Complete Tamrielic saturation. Yeah, you have to say it like he does. Complete Tamrielic saturation. I have to finish Resident Evil 5. You know what? That is definitely a high contender for this weekend. Because this weekend I'm going to play multiple days worth of OG games. I'm going to play Spyro on the Xbox, right? I'm going to play, maybe I'll play Resident Evil. Are you good, bro? He's literally stuck. His pathing has not fixed itself. I'm gonna play... Maybe I should finish Resident Evil... No, I didn't finish Resident Evil 5. We got to, like, chapter 3. We did not get into the... Yeah, no, we didn't. We didn't get to the underground village, remember? We have the underground village that leads to the boss fight against the Brooklyn dude. And then you go to the place... you go to the lab, and then you go on the ship, and then you go to the finale. We did not finish it. That's gonna be funny because I haven't played that game in so fucking long. Like, just rebooting it is like, what the fuck, man? Like, I forget how to even play it. It's so... I think we're actually done. I just don't know where the key is, so I'll just leave. It's not a big deal. Complete global saturation has to be a meme. But my favorite part about Resident Evil 5 is the same thing I like about Revenge of the Sith. It plays itself completely seriously despite being, like, actually really cheesy. And I like that. I think that, you know, even if it is cheesy, it's good to just play it out 100%. Like, I can actually respect the shit out of that. That's really cool. That's one of my favorite parts of Revenge of the Sith, is that even though, like... I think Revenge of the Sith is such a good movie just because so many things are happening in, like, 5 rooms in the galaxy. Like, you're watching the downfall of an entire civilization because of hubris, because of their inability to accept people. There's a lot of really good stuff going on in episode 3. Yeah, I mean, like, I think the combat's better. I like that you could pick your chapter, but picking your chapter also came with the negative that, well, now every chapter feels kind of hollow, I guess. The game doesn't really feel contiguous, if that makes sense. We need a key. So, like, I also don't like the inventory system. Obviously, if it was going to be online, there was no way you were going to have an inventory system, right? Like, that was just pretty much cooked the minute they said we're making a co-op game. But I do think it is something worth noting because it is a good game at the end of it. Like, it is definitely a very well thought out game. And let's be fair, for its time, even till today, it's one of the most unique games because not many games take place in Africa. Not many games have, you know, I hate to be that guy, reasonably well-written female and black female characters. Like, Sheva is definitely in a category of her own as much as people complain about the AI, and I have plenty of reasons to complain about the AI, because the AI basically makes professional mode impossible because it insists on fucking looting gems and looting stuff we literally do not need and walking out and dying. So yeah, I have plenty of reasons to complain about the fucking AI in that game. If you could just tell the AI pick up nothing, I could have RPG'd the entire game to fucking death. Fuck. Fuck. I didn't even see what I picked up. Whoops. But that's what I'm saying. Like, back then, they just tried more. I mean, I don't know. Enemies. Where? They just tried more. They cared more. Even the Japanese care more than the Americans do. Let that sink in. They treated Sheva and Josh with way more love than the average American game treats, like, half the characters. The gun variety's good. I'm glad that there's, like, a lot of things to level up. Obviously, that kind of matters. Now, the reality of it is that because the game is so linear, like, I like that you could store weapons. I think that's one of the big things that Resident Evil 4 needed, is it needed more, like, replayability. Once you have a Resident Evil 4 save that's completed, you're either running Chicago Typewriter or you're not. And you're running, you know, fully leveled up weapons. So, like, if you don't like a weapon, you'll pretty much never use it. Like, not even to level up, not even to dick around, you know what I mean? Whereas in Resident Evil 5, I'm pretty sure I upgraded, like, every weapon to full. That's how much I played that game, because I was such a huge fan of Resident Evil at the time. Remember, and this is, I always love talking about my channel lore. Remember, Resident Evil 4 was, like, the genesis of my fucking channel. Like, for real. I watched so many people play it on YouTube, it inspired me to make my own content. From so many people who may or may not even still make fucking content to this day. So there is a little bit of, like, shared history there. I was so into Resident Evil because we had all played it so much. Well, I say we all as if we're friends, but, you know, like, you get my point. Like, the way I watched tons of people as a young adult play these games, Resident Evil 4 was literally the game that I remember everyone that I watched played. It was like a universal game playthrough. And it's funny, like, people say Mario 64 is like the universal Let's Player playthrough. I've never done Mario 64 for the channel. I've done Sunshine. Maybe I'll replay Sunshine, because Sunshine's fast. The only thing I do is I don't collect all the blue coins, because the blue coins suck, and I need to route that. That is something I need to do. I'm getting old. I need to actually fucking do that. What's the best way to get all the blue coins? Kind of like RE8 or Dead Space? I don't know about RE8. Resident Evil 5 guns have strengths and weaknesses that give you lots of personal preference. I agree, but then, unfortunately, much like Chicago Typewriter, you can, you could just get infinite ammo in the rocket launcher. I'm gonna be completely honest. That's exactly what I did. I don't know if it's no fun. I mean, you don't have to use it. It's honestly one of the best things. Like, you could just put it away if you just want to play without it. Like, you just pull out a normal RPG, I think. But yeah, like, you know, it's one of those things. Did we already come in here? If we did, why are the enemies back? Dude, I feel like we literally went through this exact dungeon. Clearly not, because look, there's loot. So, am I losing my mind? We literally went through this exact dungeon before. Is this just a reskin dungeon, or do they repopulate the enemies? No, they repopulate the enemies. I remember, you can't do this yet. What the fuck? It's funny how the game that they yelled about being racist back then is actually one of the most wholesome, you know, like, most exciting games that they put out. It's rare that you get a game set in Africa for the exact reason that they yelled at that game. Now, if you're, you know, if you want to ask, well, why don't Sheva and Josh return? That's just how Resident Evil does it. There's always the main characters, and there's the partner characters that are there, and then they're gone. And they come back. Or, sorry, then they don't come back. Like, I honestly think that we should have a Resident Evil game that graduates some of these side characters to the forefront. I've always wanted Billy to come back. I thought, I get why they'll probably never bring him back, but I thought it would be really cool to bring Billy back. No, Rebecca is retired. Rebecca had two hellish nights, and she fucking quit. She's like, this is stupid. I'm 18, I'm just trying to get my medical degree. You know, I'm over here thinking maybe the most I'll have to treat is a bullet wound. Maybe. At best. To be fair, not like anyone on Stars was prepared for what they went out to see on July whatever. But still, you know, she quit. Canonically, Rebecca basically retires. She goes off to just do viral research. She's in a movie, pretty much, and like a background character. And sometimes I kind of wonder, like, well, what about, like Jill also kind of doesn't come back, really. Technically, Jill probably has just as many superpowers as Wesker at this point. Oh yeah, you can notice the speed upgrade, by the way. Look at this. I want a more military Umbrella PMC or Hunk game. I think a Hunk game would work. Umbrella Corps kind of sounds like that. But even I didn't buy Umbrella Corps because, like, they have this really bad habit of making these really shitty spin-off games that just are uninteresting as fuck. Like, Operation Raccoon City should have been like a DLC for an earlier Resident Evil 2 remake. And don't get it twisted. I think the Resident Evil 2 remake is good, and when it happened is great. But let's be fair now, people asked for that for ages because those old games are, you know, old. People wanted the more traditional, at the time, Resident Evil 4 over-the-shoulder camera. And, I mean, you know, they gave it to us. You know, I just have this thing where they insist on never having the canon story in the games, and it drives me fucking insane. It really does. Again, Resident Evil 5, again, perfect game.
Showing your face was the last mistake you'll ever make.
Why are you not getting sliced? Oh, shit. Never mind.
Well, look who we've got here.
Who? Do you even know who I am? Is there, like, a better fatigue spell? I gotta figure that out. I have no idea. Up top? Holy shit, I love this game. Yo, Oblivion is fucking great, man. Think a longer third-person camera Chris RE7 DLC. Oh, heal superior wounds. Do I even have that? Hold on, let me use this. Magic. I haven't done this in a while. What was it? Heal greater wounds? Yeah, holy shit, we got a new spell. Heal superior wounds. This was actually like an insane fucking drop. Would you believe this? Alright, heal superior wounds. Heal greater wounds. There you go. We don't need heal minor wounds anymore. That's just a waste. I don't know. I see, that's the thing about, like, third-person Resident Evil. I feel like... I wonder what Resident Evil 9 is going to be. And, like, I know it's been about 4 years. I'm not gonna sit... Well, technically, we got the remake for Resident Evil 4 a few years ago. I really, like, am cautiously... I'm really cautious about asking for a remake of an old game, because every time they remake a Resident Evil game, I feel like they fuck up something. And it's not like a serious fuck up, right? It's not like something that's going to make it unplayable. But I do think that, like, when you remake an old school game, like Resident Evil 3 remake was just a complete, like, I mean, most people tend to agree with this, right? They tend to say, like, it is a letdown compared to the original, which had so much potential. Of course he's unconscious. He's way too low level for this, and I can't give him any loot. He's not a real follower. He'll be fine. It's like in Fire Emblem when a dude gets downed, and then he just comes back the next mission. He's like, yeah, that's fine. Resist normal weapons on self. Okay. So yeah, I don't know. I want a Code Veronica remake because I genuinely think Code Veronica is probably one of the more interesting games that they've made. The problem is that Code Veronica is also, you know, a pretty old, outdated game. Like, it's the only one of the 3D trilogy that hasn't been remade, and there's a lot of complicated stuff going on behind the scenes in Code Veronica. Geriatric Chris now. See, that's the thing, is that people are getting too old to continue doing this shit. Like, eventually, you're not going to be able to have a franchise when everyone is, like, 40 years old. So, like, either they're gonna have to reboot it or some shit. They're going to have to reboot it or some shit. This is only worth 180. Okay, goodbye. I'm probably not coming back for that either. Okay, well, fuck me. I need to drop these boots. I mean, I guess I will come back, huh? Alright, how you get out of here? I don't know what they're gonna do at Resident Evil. I don't want to say. See, that's the thing about horror games is like a platformer. You could have a billion platformers, right? Like, does anyone care about a complicated timeline in a Spyro game? Of course not. But what do you really know about a Spyro plotline? Oh, some funny stuff happened, and then Spyro went on another adventure, right? Like, there doesn't need to be a complicated story line. How the fuck did you beat me to this? You don't need to have a complicated storyline for a Spyro game, you know? The irony of it is that, like, I hate that platformers have completely disappeared almost entirely. You know, like, just those kid-friendly platformers that are just really funny and really fun. I really hate that they have, like, completely disappeared from just general gaming. Because that was one of the most fun parts about being a kid, is, like, you just have your favorite characters, right? They're just going on another wacky, zany adventure.
Hello.
You're just shooting the shit. Things are fun, and things are funny. And I know the original Spyro trilogy isn't perfect. You know, every trilogy has some unique quirk about each one of its games. But, like, it is one of those things that's, like... I just hate that Sony just did not step up and they just let all of their fucking platformers die, basically. Without a second thought, without a care in the fucking world. So they could sell super serious games. I don't know why. It's a real-life Porque no los dos. All that money they spent on Concord, you know, if they still bothered to make some of these other games, they could have made a fucking new Jak and Daxter. What do you think people would have liked more? A new Jak and Daxter? Or Concord? Like, what is even going on in some of these C-suites? I mean, you know exactly what's going on. It's just stupid. You know. I know, you know, everyone knows. It's just a waste of everyone's time and money. How many people even bought Concord? They had to pull the fucking plug. So think about that. Like, it was a complete waste of everyone's time. Literally. Objectively, it was a complete waste. So, you know, Capcom has all these franchises. They need to use more of them. And to be fair, they have. They're working on Okami 2, which I know... Ash getting Okami 2 is like me hearing a new Pikmin game is being announced, right? Like, something just clicks in my brain differently. But, you know, this is like if Nintendo... They do probably the best job, and even they let franchises sleep for 20 years, right? You think they couldn't have made at least one F-Zero game since 2003? One? Just one. Like, not even, like, trying to push new limits or break new boundaries. Just one F-Zero game. But, yeah, like, platformers and all these other games are in a unique position because you don't have to have this contiguous story. Like, what is Capcom going to do? Remake the entire franchise? Like, reboot it entirely? I think part of the problem that they will eventually run into is that they need a new generation of characters to carry the torch. Like, Leon's cool and all. Leon at this point is approaching his 40s, and I think Chris is approaching his late 40s, early 50s. Like, they're just getting too old. Like, it's just getting to the point where, you know, it's just a little too much, you know? And I don't know what they're going to do about it. Maybe they'll find some way to, like, pass the torch or reboot it, you know, in a modern way. They could make the mansion fucking huge, like actually design it as if it was a laboratory and then actually design it with a mansion around it afterwards. Because that's always something that bothers me is like, it's very obvious the mansion is just a bunch of rooms. They want to keep the illusion that it's a mansion much longer than actually not. And like, I wish they had redesigned a lot of Resident Evil 2 because of that. And Resident Evil 3 especially. I've just said before, Code Veronica just has a lot of very annoying boss fights. They're hard. They're hard, and they're also... What the hell? They're also very annoying. And I get that a lot of people like that. And I like it too, but I like fights that don't have guaranteed instant death. And that's like the #1 thing that they put in that fucking game. Is just a bunch of fights that are guaranteed instant death. Like almost every single boss fight in that game has guaranteed death. And, yeah, I don't know. I never figured out that chase sequence with Steve. I don't know how you're not supposed to take damage. Now, granted, I could Google it. There's probably a way to Google it, but when I was playing it when I was 12? Yeah. 12 or 13. Oh, Lord. It's the Axe body wash room. I always talk about how dudes I know used to spray themselves with Axe after going to the gym. Or after gym class. It's like, dude, what the fuck? Not me. I mean, there's only so much you could do, but what is even going on? Alright, whatever. The only mainline character they don't really use is Jill. Jill just hasn't really been around since Resident Evil 5. Even then, she's not playable. Well, she is. She's playable in that DLC I never played. Because by the time I was done with Resident Evil 5, I don't even think the DLC was out. Well, Mercenaries doesn't count. Mercenaries is non-canon. Mercenaries doesn't count. What really sucks is that we never got, like, Silent Hill games to that degree. They let that shit die. One of my friends who isn't even a gamer was like, hey, you ever heard about Silent Hills? And I was like, oh yeah, Silent Hills. PT. So, like, even normies are, like, kind of aware that that shit got screwed. Think about that. People who never have played a video game a day in their life are aware that they screwed that. I'm sure someday we'll fucking know why they did it. It's not. I'm not saying it's not going to be a great reason. I'm just going to be honest. It's going to be some stupid fucking reason. I think it's just ego clashing. I think people just didn't like that he knew what they were doing more than they did. It's going to be really stupid. Remember, reality is often the most boring thing that you will ever encounter in your life. Oops, sorry. The good news is that he can't get aggroed to me because he's part of the main story. He has to be my friend. So I'm good. Can you keep it down over there? I'm trying to loot.
Let's get this over with.
Yeah, let's get this over with, buddy. Idiot. Ooh. I thought that was gonna break. Fuck's sake. Wow. Restore speed? No, I need a better restore fatigue. I gotta restore fatigue more. Hello. Terrifying stuff. Oblivion is definitely going to take a bigger role in the streams. Maybe I should do Xenoblade on the late night. I'm not sure how I'm going to handle that, to be completely honest. Maybe Xenoblade takes over Tuesday, Thursday. That's kind of a little bit more of a lightweight game, and then we could actually work on Oblivion a little bit more. Maybe I'll swap positions with it once I'm done with Rise of Ronin. I'm almost like 90% certain that's what I'm going to do. We'll swap it so we have Friday Oblivion. And then Xenoblade will become Tuesday, Thursday, late night. Because Xenoblade is a little bit more bursty as a game. Does Xenoblade tire me quickly? No, but it's more like there's only so much you could do in Xenoblade before you have to grind. So, like, I'm going to hit a cap in Xenoblade way faster. Like, basically, you just do a story mission if you're up to it, and then that's it. And then you just maybe run around and do some whatever. Oh, I missed a room. It just happens that I've just been tired, man. It is what it is. I should have recorded today. I do have a video. I do have enough videos for another day or two. So maybe... Did I upload that KOTOR video? I did not. So maybe I should upload KOTOR. Maybe I'll upload KOTOR tomorrow to mix it up. But did I render it? Oh, fuck. I didn't. I kind of knew I was going to become over-encumbered. Oops. Alright, drop the weapon. Come back. All the helping rando missions are entertaining. Xenoblade X obviously does not have as much of an insane focus on the story as 1 and 2 and 3. But I will give it credit. I do like the world building. And like I said, it's one of the few sci-fi RPGs I genuinely enjoy. I just wish it wasn't as hardcore of a fucking game as it was. Basically, the way every Xenoblade X build works is that you get yourself to a point where you just 2 to 3 shot an enemy. Most enemies in the game, either by exploiting overdrive, exploiting dual guns, or both. And there are viable builds that don't use either of those, but that's like, it's like the majority of the builds in the game that work use dual guns. Unfortunately, this is not one of those games where there's 50 different builds and they're all vastly diverse. Generally speaking, you're either cheesing Ghostwalker or you're like, there are other builds. There is a build for Photon Saber, but you don't really use, you basically use dual guns to enable almost every build because dual guns are just simply the best weapon because they give you Ghostwalker, which allows you to basically set up for free. And I mean, just after that, you just kill everything. Like that's basically how it works. And like, it's not the most balanced game, but I'll be fair with you, most games aren't that balanced. When you really get down to it, most games are not balanced at all. Like, in the fucking slightest. Like, I'm just being completely honest. Xenoblade games especially. I think the most balanced Xenoblade game that, you know, uses each of its characters really well is 3. 1 is held back by small party size, and 2 is held back by small party size and just the fact that Rex is too good. Morag is just a better tank than Tora with the same amount of effort. And then the third party slot has to pretty much be a healer. And you could have Rex heal, probably, because he could use everything, but, you know, let's just be fair here. You're basically running one character. You're running Mia. Which means that Zeke doesn't really have much use. That's what, like, I get why people like Xenoblade 2, but playing Xenoblade 2 and, like, enjoying the story of Xenoblade 2, to me, are two sides of a separate coin. They are very, very, very different things. But that's, every Xenoblade game is like that. None of them are, like, traditional RPGs in that sense. It's just with X, like, basically your teammates help you at the start of the game, and then they kind of just become irrelevant. Like, every build in X becomes a solo build, effectively. Damn, makes you wonder how so many people got Daedric weapons, huh? You know the end of this game is going to be hell because I'm so high level.
Who's there?
Oh, it's creepy. What the fuck? Oop. I think the glass weapons and armor look pretty good, but I'm never going to get to use them.
Mistake you'll ever make. I fought Mudcrabs more fearsome than you. That's the best you can do.
Okay. Actually, wait, I haven't had to repair in ages. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Am I losing my mind? I'm worried. What's my armor? Oh, no, because I over-repaired it. That's right. You can overload it. So you could go to 120. Oh no, can you do it, here we go. Yeah, the helmet dies, or breaks. I don't know why I said dies. Helmet breaks way faster. Very nice. You'll love to see it. Okay. I was maybe about halfway through losing all my, losing my durability. Okay. You know what I also thought about playing? Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga. If I could get that to play on my Steam Deck, which I think I can, I haven't checked it out yet, I would love to play that again. Oh shit, I clocked him. Dude, get out the way, dude.
Don't feel bad? Nope.
Shut up.
Take that!
I love Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga. I got all the achievements on that, dude. I felt so happy. Unfortunately, it's one of those mini games that has achievements on the PS or on the Xbox and not on the PS3, so like I would just do it again just for the fuck of it. And honestly, I would, because it's genuinely a fun game. It has so much content in it. It's crazy how that works. No, it's not a GameCube game. Complete Saga is not on the GameCube. Episode 1 and 2 are, but the Complete Saga was on 360 and Wii and PS3. It's also on Steam, obviously. But I agree. I like... See, they tweaked a lot. Because the first game was the prequel trilogy, and famously, all the vehicle missions are, like, insanely difficult because you just die in one shot. Like, you literally take one shot and then you die. And so that's one of the things they changed. They changed pretty much all the missions to be more like actual Lego Star Wars 2 missions. Lego Star Wars 2 is a much chiller game. But what's funny about it is that the balancing in the games is that the first 3 episodes, having a blaster character is like really strong because they expect you to have mostly Jedi. And then the opposite is true when you get to the original trilogy. Most of the Jedi characters are busted because they expect the game to be like 80% a shooter. Because there's very few Jedi characters in the original. But there's a lot of Lego games like I want to play. And I'll probably get around to them. I need to like go down a list of all the different Lego games I never bought. So like Marvel, Jurassic Park, etc. I need to hit up fucking GameStop and see what they have. Damn, one shot. Beautiful. I'm gonna be over encumbered. I knew it. You're killing me, man. Damn it. I'm exactly at... That's funny. No, come on. Oh, I hate over encumber, bro. They're killing me, dude. Unbelievable. Speedrun it. Yeah, I gotta see what games I don't have in my GameCube library. Someday I'll update the list of games I have. I have a couple lists I need to re-update since it's been a while. I have to update the list of games that I own. And then I have to re-update, what's the other one? I have to update my favorite games of all time. Those are 2. I was talking about that actually when I was playing Doom. I was like, damn, you know, like, what is my list, my favorite games of all time? 100 games that are just like the top of the top, the peak of the peak, the best of the best games I've ever played. So maybe I'll update that at some point soon. Play Honey Pop? Out of your mind. No, I will not play Honey Pop. It's not even a good adult game. Dude, Match 4 is literally just like a why not game. I can't stand that shit. It is not for me. I cannot play Match 4 games or whatever. Yeah, I'll see if I could play Lego Star Wars. That'll be pretty dope. But I don't know when I would do it. That's literally just like a complete rewind. Should we use the crate? We should put all the armor in the crate. That's what I'm going to start doing. Or all the weapons, maybe. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, fuck it. Wonder how heavy I can make myself doing this. We're still not out of the D's. In case you were wondering how heavy this is going to make me. This should just, like, outright snap my back the instant I exit this menu. Could you imagine? Just my character bends over backwards, like, crumbles like paper. Like a boxing match. And no, if I hit take all, it's not going to take all from this category. It will take all from everything in every category. So I have to manually do this. Yes, I am aware. I'm well aware of how this works. I'm not about to get fucked doing that. That would be stupid. You've looted quite a lot, huh? Good thing I don't use weapons. I won't accidentally deposit mine. Just like in the New Vegas playthrough where I sold my starter M9 and didn't realize it because all the M9s stacked on top of each other. Yeah, good times. You had to be there to believe it. That shit had me really sad. I was like, damn, dude, I had this gun the whole fucking game. I was like sentimentally attached to it. I was like, oops. I was like, dude, what the fuck? Shit had me actually sad. I was like, so it's just gone forever now, huh? Yes, actually. It literally was. It was a sacrifice. Man, I love video games. There really is nothing else on the planet like playing a video game. Some of the dumbest shit ever can happen in a video game. Alright, we'll finish this cave. We'll probably be done for the day. Okay, we'll put the armor up here in the chest, which is kind of the opposite, you would probably think, but whatever. Okay. And someday I will sell this for tons of money. Or not. And it will just sit in my digital repository for the rest of eternity. Either or, it'll be funny. Yeah, okay, so this Great Welkin Stone is part of the plot, by the way. I remember now. It's part of the plot. You need it. There's basically a bunch of fetch quests in this main story. You have to go get, a Welkin Stone to progress the plot line. So that's why I can't remove it, because every Welkin Stone in the game is considered to be unique. And therefore, you can't sell it, you can't get rid of it. Once it's in your inventory, it's there forever. It's sticky. I remember that now. They don't let you sell it, because if you were able to sell it, you would lose it. Then you also have to pick up Azura's Star, which is also a one-off kind of unique item. This game is, oops, all fetch quests. Yeah, unfortunately, it bears the mark of a 2006 game. But, I mean, that's just how the game is, right? Like, if they changed it, it wouldn't be the same. You know, you run the risk of it not being as good. Yes, you're correct. A lot of this game is actually just, hey, it's a fetch quest. Hey, it's a fetch quest. Hey, go here. I need you to find this. I need you to do that. But I don't even think fetch quests are necessarily bad most of the time. I think that, you know, if your game has meaningful story... like, because what else is it? It's you know, you only have so many variations on a mission, right? You can only break down go here and do this in so many ways before you've done every variation of go here and do this. You know what I mean? So, like, after a point, that's just how a game is. Go here and do this. Go here, talk to this person. Go here and rescue this person. Go here, get the documents and leave. Now, obviously, right, that's not to water it down too much. You could definitely have a way too fetch questy game. Of course. But there's only so much, there's only so many ways you can innovate on objectives. You know? I don't even think that that's like a super controversial thing to say. There's only so many ways you could innovate on, have an objective, and perform said objective. Dead treasure hunter. What the fuck happened to you? Do I want to know? Just the bandits? Wasn't sure if I was gonna have to outrun a boulder, Indiana Jones style. Okay, let's finish this up. Dude. Was that like 10 pushes in a row to get it to go normally? Holy shit. That was just flat out trolling. You had to be patient there. That shit was not going in. That's really bad RNG then. Usually you get it on the 3rd or 4th push. Maybe the 5th if you're really unlucky. That was flat out insanely bad RNG. Damn, he banished that fucking ghost. Good shit. To pieces! Of course he's unconscious. Wait, you thought he was gonna survive more than one fight? You can definitely see that the levels do kind of matter a bit in this game. A lot more. Like, even though these dudes are wearing good armor and stuff, like... Damn, he gets back up fast. Bro, get out the way. I'm getting pushed. By someone. She died, okay. Yeah, Azura's best... Azura's Star is one of the best items, I think, in almost any game. Because it just... It's reusable, I believe. So you use it to craft all your shit, because you can never get it again once you give it up. They even say, like, it won't be seen for many years. Like, it'll come back, but, you know, when they say many years, they mean, the game is gonna end. Like you're never gonna see it again. I know a lot of people say, like, I wish this game had, is that it? I wish this game had, like, a more time-gated plot line. Like, I understand it, but I also think, like, it's probably for the best that this game is the way it is. I think it's cool to have, like, a game where you could lay back and be adventurous, especially if it's a game like this, where you're supposed to run around and see 100 different plot lines and see a bunch of different quests. Like, if you didn't have that, I feel like the game would just feel off. You know what I mean? How do we get up top? Can we get up top? Wait, is it possible to even get up top here? I don't think so. Both of these passageways open into this one basement. Yeah, I don't think you could get up top. There's no way to get up. Okay, forget it. Oh, it's in the next game? I didn't find it in Skyrim. Which makes sense, right? I think what we're really seeing is that once they fix the leveling, Oblivion becomes like a pretty good game. All things considered. Like, I do like the idea that you have some stats that are just your main stats. And then you have, leveling up is based on how much you use your main stats. I think that's like a really good system. Because in base Oblivion, these enemies become fucking bullets. Well, you wouldn't call them bullet sponges. They become spongy as shit. So killing them becomes like a huge pain in the ass. It becomes very hard to get anything done because fights take so fucking long. Okay. Let's discover something, I guess. Oh, shit. What's even here? Who knows? Oh, I forgot to... Fucking... What's his name said something else. I know Devin's not here. But Randy Pitchford said something else about it. He insulted some other game where they were like, yeah, you could buy this game and like 3 copies of it for all your friends for the price of 1 copy of Borderlands. And he was like, it's like a hit of meth or something. It's the weirdest interaction that Randy Pitchford wants to go down swinging on $80 for fucking Borderlands. Oh. Very nice. Like, I don't know, man. Maybe Borderlands has this very niche but huge following of players. Maybe $80 is viable for Borderlands. I'm gonna go on a limb and say it's not, but I am definitely very biased in this manner. So I don't know if I'm actually the person to really talk to about it, because I fucking hate Borderlands. I think it's one of the most obnoxious series I think I've ever played. So I'm definitely very biased about it. So, which means I'm not the person to ask about it. I don't know, maybe Borderlands will be worth the money. I think the funny part is that you know exactly where this is going to lead to. It's going to lead to people not buying games, which means they're going to be forced to lower their prices. I don't think this is going to last very long. You know, it's not like the 90s where people just kind of bought it just because. Like, these games have to make a shit ton of money. Like, it's not like a if, and, or but about it. They have to. They have no choice. And so, like, you could either sell it for 80 and make, like, maybe 20% less sales, or you could take a 10% hit and just make more. I think it's going to be really... I don't think this is going to last very long. I think for some games it will be, right? Like, GTA could get away with it, but that's because it's GTA. Like, GTA could get away with anything. I thought GTA 5 was overwhelmingly mid compared to GTA 4. But that didn't, you know, it's still highly successful. And, you know, it's not a bad game. It just didn't give me the same feeling and appeal as 4. I play Rockstar games more for the story. I think Rockstar games have some of the best storylines out there. They're very well done. Their characters are very well researched and intricate. And I enjoy playing a lot of their stuff. There's a certain aura and roughness when it comes to GTA that you just don't really get. And I guess LA Noire, Max Payne, you know all the other games. You just don't really get it when you play and watch other stuff. Never really like GTA. Yeah, I mean, like, I like San Andreas because I think San Andreas does a good job blending. Oh no, is it gonna crash again? Oh my god, dude, leaving this house is like fucking 10% chance to infinitely load. I'm not even kidding. Remember when this infinitely loaded before? I think I'm cooked. I'm gonna have to quit. It should not take this long to leave. You should not even see this fucking loading screen like this. This is like a 360 era loading screen. Remember those? Remember all the playthroughs where we had to sit on loading screens for like 20 seconds while the game loaded with 512 megabytes of memory? This is literally a 360 level loading screen, which means the game crashed. It didn't do the thing correctly. You'd be sitting here like, oh, loading. I probably made this exact joke when I was 17. Loading. Oh, loading. Oh, loading. Unbelievable. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like San Andreas is the first really good GTA game. But the problem with it is, like, you have to save before every mission. Because if you die and you continue playing, you lose all your shit. And that just becomes annoying. It becomes frustrating. Like, yeah, I get it. It's an old school mechanic. But it becomes one of those, like, oh, well, I died. You know, at least in GTA 4, you could hold the mission retry until after you get some armor. But it just adds an extra step every time you fail a mission. I just kind of don't like that. I just kind of wish they would let you buy armor before every mission. Also, I can't imagine modern-day Rockstar having any of the humor necessary that they would have had in 10 years ago. That to me is just going to be wild. We'll see. We'll see. Because GTA is always a super parody of everything American. So, like, 5 obviously has the best gameplay. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it doesn't. But what I will tell you is that 5 definitely did not have the best story. Look, instant fucking reloading.
Hello there.
What the fuck, dude? I love it. Oh, dude. Okay. Alright, you gonna crash? Am I stuck in there forever? Thank you. Very worried about this game. Sometimes. That's why we make separate saves all the time now, folks. Alright. That's going to be it for today. I know I'm quitting a little early and I started very late, but, you know, like I said, I want to stream. I'm trying to stream every day, even if it's for a little bit. Tomorrow will be Xenoblade. We will play Xenoblade. I'll try to start early. I may record instead, in which case we'll probably start around our regular time. It depends how I feel. So tomorrow will be Xenoblade. Saturday will be the start of me just playing random shit, since it's going to be like a 4-day fucking break into my birthday, which will be cool. I'm not really too sure what I should play on Saturday. I'm trying to think. Should I play like Spyro finally for the Xbox? Maybe I'll play Spyro 1. I don't know. I'll think about it. Spyro. Oh no, do I have Resident Evil? I'll try to squeeze Resident Evil in somewhere. I'll figure it out. I gotta think about it. Obviously, I think I said I was gonna. I think last year I said I was gonna play Zero Mission, because I haven't played that in like a while. I can't tell you the last time. It should have been not that long ago. I really gotta play some of these games twice a year just for shits and giggles. What did I say? Metroid Zero Mission, Spyro 3, and Super Mario Sunshine. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Years ago? What did I do on the last birthday stream? I don't even remember. I could look real quick. Hold on. Let's see. Arceus in 2023. Metroid Fusion, Spyro 2, and Luigi's Mansion on last year. 2020, I did Arceus for 2 birthdays in a row. What the fuck was I thinking? That's hilarious. That's how you know I didn't plan it out. Those who stream are already lost. That's a Bajja reference. I don't know why I did that. Metroid Fusion, Mario Sunshine, Luigi's Mansion. That's 2021. And then 2020 was what? Doesn't even say. Multi-streaming. No, I'm not playing Luigi's Mansion again. I just played that last year. Yeah, I think I remember now. I said I'll play the opposite game for each one. So I think I said, because I think I said I'll do Fusion, Spyro 2, and Luigi's Mansion. And then I was like, okay, I'll do Metroid Zero Mission, Spyro 3, and Super Mario Sunshine. So next year, I'm going to do GTA 6 if it doesn't get delayed. If it does get delayed, then whatever, we'll see. But I definitely want to play like Metroid Prime or something We gotta like have Metroid Prime will probably take up the whole stream though. That's like a 7-hour game when you do it reasonably fast. Kind of. Not speedrunner fast, just fast. So maybe that'll be next year. I don't know. I'll think about it. I'll see what I want to do. Until then, I want to thank everyone who showed up. Thanks, Narg. Thanks, Viv. Much appreciated. Y'all have a good evening. I will see you all tomorrow for Xenoblade X, and then Saturday we'll figure out what I'm going to do. I have to see. So yeah, I hope you all have a wonderful time, and I will see you later. Enjoy. Oh, we'll play this on the way out. Why not?
Not enough cash, stranger.